Hi! So, as you can see, you are looking at a brand new Staff Sergeant Select Bianca Meadows. So, I'm so excited. So, if you guys pray for me, if you watched my last video and you knew I was getting, the results were coming out today, I just want to say thank you for all your prayers and everything. Actually, me and my husband made it today, so we were able to find out that we both made Staff Sergeant today. So you guys get to witness a very special day for me. I am very tired, but I still decided to come on YouTube, and because I promised that I was going to stay on top of everything and give you guys the videos and update you, here I am. So we did make Staff Sergeant. I have my little sticker. So what they do is they give you these stickers that you put on your arms. My other one fell off somewhere, but you put it on your ABUs, and it's like a whole promotion ceremony. So just in case you guys are wondering, I'll give you just a quick background if you haven't been following me. I joined the military straight out of college, 4 years of college, received my bachelor's degree in 2012. From that point on, I really couldn't find a job. I knew that I wanted to do something. I just didn't know. I majored in communication, so after I got out of college, there was no jobs. 2012, the economy was not that good. So I did ROTC for 4 years in high school, but I did not do it in college. I loved ROTC, but I just thought military is about war, guns, and some parts of it is. But at the time, I was 17, and I was just like, I just want to go to college. That was the right thing to do at the time. So when I graduated from college, I went to the Air Force. So that was September 2012, and as you see in my videos, you can see me grow from when I first, a month before leaving for basic to now. From that point on, I, came to Mississippi and I just started working as a med tech. And from that point on, I won Airman of the Quarter. I won BTZ. So as you know, if you have college credits, you come in as a A1C, which is 2 stripes. So I already had 2 stripes in basic. Of course, you don't get to wear them until after you graduate basic training, but I was getting paid as an A1C. So then I got to compete for BTZ. As you see in my previous videos, I talk about the BTZ boards and how that worked. But I got to put on Senior Airman 6 months early because I won BTZ. So from that point on, you win BTZ, and for most people who put on 6 months early, they get to test for Staff Sergeant. They get like a free shot to test as Staff Sergeant. Well, in my case, I was already, it's a cutoff date. And you guys, if you don't quite understand what that means, just let me know and I can make another video about that. But the cutoff date, just say it was, you had to put on Senior Airman by January 31st. Well, just say I was putting on Senior Airman January 20th. So regardless, I already kind of had the cutoff date. So really, this was my first time testing. For most people, in an ideal situation, if you put on Senior Airman 6 months early, you technically don't really meet your cutoff date. So you're getting a free chance to test their staff, to test early. But in my case, this was already a test, date. But a lot of people use Senior Airman. It's not really bragging rights. It's just, you want to make more money fast. You want to say, hey, my hard work is getting paid off, so I want to wear it on my sleeve. So that's what I did. Granted, I didn't test early, but I still tested, so I took it serious. As far as testing, at first I used this thing called PDG Advisor. It's PDG Advisor. If you Google it, you will see that it's this thing called the PDG. And most of you that are looking at my videos, you should be familiar with the PDG if you're in the military. And it kind of rack and stack, what's most important. So what they do is, airmen who used the PDG a year or 2 before, they will take a survey. They will say, hey, what did you think was on the test? Was history up here, or was it down here? And so basically what the PDG Advisor does is it racks and stack it for you. So I was using that. And so I studied the most important things, and then the bottom was like kind of history, like Cold War or stuff like that. And that was like rated as not, so important. So you kind of didn't really focus too much on that. And you can get a bundle package. I'm not promoting for them because I paid $89. So most people use the PDG Gold, which is cool too. It's a CD that you can put in, or you can use it without the internet. But I use the PDG Advisor, and you have to have internet with it. With the PDG Gold, you can use it just on your laptop with no internet. But let's see, the PDG Advisor was a bundle package, and I also got the PDG Gold. So just in case I didn't have internet, I was able to study the PDG Gold. It was $89, I believe. So my husband had the PDG Gold, but as he was going through the PDG Gold, he started to notice that I was kind of like hitting certain things that he wasn't hitting, and he was like, "Well, how do you know this already?" And I'm like, "Well, the PDG Advisor already had it up there for me." So with that being said, eventually he bought the PDG Advisor maybe 1 month before test date, and he still passed. So I really recommend getting that. It was recommended to me to get that by I think he was a tech sergeant or a staff sergeant. I was in the BX and I did honor guard with this guy. He said, "Hey, get the PDG Advisor before you get the Gold," and I listened. So sometimes you have to listen to what people are saying before you just whatever. You have to listen to what people are saying. That's what I did. Also, let's see. A lot of people ask me, so how long did it take you to study and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. My whole goal was to commission. I wanted to be a nurse this year. I wanted to start nursing school, get another bachelor's degree in nursing, have the Air Force, send me off to school and do this and that. So once I didn't, my whole focus this year was nursing, nursing, nursing. Not only was I in honor guard, at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. So when you're on the road, you don't really have time to study. You think you would, but when you're tired, you've been in the heat all day, studying and reading the PDG. If you guys ever read the PDG, you would know it is dry. Like, you will fall asleep. If you don't need NyQuil. That thing will put you out. When my husband was trying to test last year, we kind of started, we were dating, and we were, a good bit in our relationship, and he was testing. Well, every time he came to my dorm room, he fell asleep every time he opened the book. And I was like, it can't be that bad. Well, when I actually got it myself and I was studying on the road, it was hard. It was really hard because it knocks you out like this. You'd be like, and you wake up like, what? Whoa, what happened? So the PDG is dry. The Advisor has games and everything. Let's see. So I was focusing on commission. Once I got put on waiting list for nursing schools that I wanted to get accepted to. With the nursing commissioning program, you have to, and with your package, you have to have a acceptance letter from a school. So I didn't have one. I just got a waiting list, and that's not acceptable for the Air Force. They want you to be accepted into a school, and that's your way into this program. So when that didn't happen, that was March. My test date was May, I want to say the 29th. So if you can do the timeline in your head, you had March, April. April was when the package was due. When around March, late March, I kind of already knew I wasn't going to the commissioning program that year, this year. So I started to study. So March, April, May. That was 2 months of if I'm not going to commission this year, or at least go into a commissioning program, I'm about to work my butt off to study. So, it wasn't too much going out. No, come home, I study. Watching TV, yeah, I made her watch TV like maybe twice a week. That's it. It was cramming, study, study, study. And don't get me wrong, I was studying the Advisor every now and then, but those last 2 months up into test date, I was studying. He was on his computer, I was on my computer. So, he was studying, I was studying, and, it was a hectic time. Like, it was no going out. He would go into the room and study, and I would sit on the couch and study. So when I tell you studying is key, you have to study for this test. Now, I will say the test was not super hard, but if you don't know it, you don't know it. You are not penalized for, no, that's not true. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong, but if you leave it blank, you get it wrong. So you might as well just guess if you don't know it. What one of my mentors told me was, he said, most of the people that you're going against people in your career field. So as a 4N, I'm trying to compete against the other 4Ns that are making it, that are trying to make it. So most of these people score maybe a 60 on their PDG and a 60 or 50 on their SKT, which is their job. I'm sorry, to their job. So you basically just need to try to get a 60. It's a 100-question test. So you have 2 tests, one for the PDG, one for your SKTs, which are like your CDCs, and you basically just need to do your best. So there's also a thing called Master Your CDC, which is by the same people that make PDG Gold. I think it's Macmillan Study Guide or Macmillan Study Guide, something like that. If you Google it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I would advise getting that too. It's basically just your CDCs on a disc, and there's games. I'm a very interactive person, so I like games. Let's see. So after studying, we found out we made it. So my line number is, okay, so let me start over. There are roughly around 39,000 senior airmen that were eligible to test this year. In that number, only 13,000 were able to make staff. That's a 33% chance of making staff out of 100. So with that being said, when I saw those numbers, I was like, I have college education, I studied, but I don't know. When my husband walked out of his test, he was super confident. When I walked out of my test, I was literally the last person. We had 2 tests. I was the last person in this test to leave out the room, and I was the last person in this test to leave out the room. I made sure I took every minute that I had, because I don't believe in going back and changing answers, but if you don't know something, just leave it. Just put a dot by it and go to what you know. And then what you don't know, go back. You have time. Now, a lot of people feel like they have to be the first ones out of the classroom or be the first ones done. If you don't know something, don't feel rushed, because your time will be there. They will let you know when you're out of time. She will say you have 30 minutes left. You have, just like the SAT or any like standardized test that you've taken. If you are married, you will have to test together. Me and my husband tested on the same day. It's the test compromise. So when you take these Air Force tests or military tests, you're not supposed to study together, regardless if you're married or not. No group setting. No, it's in the AFI. You cannot study together. So I can't study with my husband, and I can't study with a friend. We can't discuss any test questions that we've had on the test, because that's bad. You don't want to do that. Let's see. You test with your husband, because they don't want you guys to go back and say, hey, well, this was the answer to this, because they don't change the test. It's the same test for that cycle, and then next year they'll change it for the next cycle. But during that cycle, if you're married, they don't want you, they want you on the same day. So today was pretty awesome. That was just a little background on what to do to try to make staff. I'm not like a genius at this trying to make staff thing. I just know it happened, and I am blessed and highly favored, y'all. I am very blessed and highly favored. My husband, like I said, I came in, I made BTZ, I made Airman of the Quarter, I did Honor Guard, I was involved. So everything that I told you guys in that video, if you just do it, I'm not saying you will make it, because everybody falls short of something. And sometimes you have to pick yourself up and say, okay, next year I'm going to get it. If I wouldn't have made it this year, trust and believe, I would have been upset. But I would have been standing by my husband and supporting him, because he did make it. Like I said, this is my first year of testing. A lot of people don't make it on their first year. I had no idea I was going to make it. But I prayed and I studied, and I prayed and I studied, and I asked people to pray for me and my family and Dion, and I asked my family to pray for us and stuff like that. So I feel like if you have faith and you have the will to study, then you will be okay. But the sad part about the day is when you have friends that, study just as hard as you, and they miss it by 3 points, or they miss it by 6 points or 10 points. It's sad, because as the person I am, I want to see everybody pass. I want to see everybody, make staff, and we just all go turn up later. But it doesn't work like that. And I saw that today, and it broke my heart, because I'm like, oh man, like, you were so close. I have a friend that was so close, and he didn't make it. And it just broke my heart, because, when you're working with these people for 2-3 years at a time, they become like family, and you don't want to see your family upset. But in the day, he came out and he still supported, us. So I think, you experience that. Also, after you make it, so you will have your leadership come down if you, have good leadership, and they will clap and give you like little stripes to put on, and they'll tack you, not punch you. They'll tack you and give you a certificate. You'll take a picture with your flight commander. I'm sorry, your squadron commander and your leadership. And then from that point on, then we have to pay $20 they'll send you an email saying, hey, you have to come to they have all this promoted staff sergeants come from all over the base. So I work in a hospital, but you have them coming from COM and security forces. They're coming, and they give us these stickers that we had to put on our arms, and we paid $20 basically for an open bar. So that was pretty cool. But it was really an open bar for everybody. They had food, they had cake, and then the commander of the base and the chief and stuff like that, they came out, and we basically got to go walk on stage and shake their hand, salute, get the certificate. And then from that point on, everybody just said congratulations, and you ate, and then you came home, and that's where I am now. So I just want to give you guys an update of my day. I'm trying to think of anything else that I would like to tell you guys. My biggest thing is just study, and pray. I'm a religious person. If you're not religious, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because that's my thing. Like, I pray. I pray before every test. I pray all the time, and I study. They say faith without works is dead. So I can have faith every day, all day. But if I'm just like sitting here watching Scandal and Power all day, I'm not putting in the work to get the reward. So this was my husband's second time testing. His first time, like I said, he missed it by like 30, but we were just dating and just starting off dating, and every time he opened that book, he went to sleep. And last year, when he did not see his name on that list, at first I'm thinking he really didn't care, because a lot of airmen really want to get out, so they don't really study. So when he didn't see his name on the list, I think that kind of put some fire under his butt. So when it was my first time to test and his second time, it was like, okay, now we definitely got to get it, or he definitely got to get it. So he starts studying, and I'm like, well, I'm not commissioned this year, so I'm going to study too. My mentor, which was also my flight chief, told me that there's 100, just think of it being 100 airmen, right? You have 25% of those airmen out of the ones that are testing that just don't study. They want to get out. They don't care. Okay? They just scratch themselves out of the list. You have 25 of those airmen that got, 3s on the EPRs, 1s on EPRs, bad LORs, LOCs, all that stuff. They lost points. You have those that studied but just missed it by a few points. They deserved it, but they just missed it. And then you have the 25 that actually study and make it. So you have a fair chance of making it. It's just how bad do you want to make staff sergeant, or any rank at that. So yeah, and my biggest thing is also find a mentor. When I came to this base, as you guys look through my video, I was just I think I was 22, 23. I don't know. And I found a mentor, and he helped guide me through, and along the way you find more mentors, but he definitely helped guide me through, like, this is what you want to do. You want to make it on your first time. You want to do this. And I'm looking at him like, make it on my first time? I don't know about that. And I knew A1C, new airman at this base. I'm like, I don't know about all that. I want to commission after making senior airman, blah, blah, blah. But when you get in that predicament, you're going to be like, whoa, well, yeah, I do want to make it. I had a friend, she came up to me and was crying because she missed it by 0.38. 0.38, not even a whole 1 point. She didn't study, and she admitted, I didn't study. But think about if she would have just studied. If she would have just cracked open her book for 1 week, she could have probably made that 0.83 whatever, or that 1 point that she needed. And, and then, that just sucks. So I'm just giving you guys advice so you can know what to do and what not to do. The biggest thing to do is to study. Just study. That's all I have to say. But I just want to let you guys know, if I think of anything else, I will post it. But you are now looking at the Air Force, one of the Air Force's newest staff sergeants. Oh, also, so there's a such thing as line numbers. So my line number is 11,300 and something. 11,000. My husband's line number is 5,500 and something, or something like that. So the way it works is the lower your number is, the quicker you promote. The higher your number is, the slower you promote. So there's 13,000 airmen that promoted. Well, if you can see, I am number 11,000. And what that has to do is, it's not like how high you scored or how low you scored. It really has to do with how long you've been in. Like I said, once you make BCZ and all this stuff, I've been putting on rank like this. I done made senior airman last year, now I'm staff sergeant this year. So the way it works is, the more time and service you have, the quicker you put on. My husband has been in for almost 4 years. I am only at 2 years in. Next September will be 3 years. It's now August. So I'm only at 2 years and 11 months, and I've already made staff sergeant. So, of course, my line number is going to be 11,000 and some change because I'm still a baby in the Air Force, but I just made rank. So if you've been in for a while, your line number could be 1. You could be the first one to promote. There is a number 1. I don't know who he is or she is, but there's a number 1 line number. So when you ever hear line number, remember line number is kind of like the number you have to promote. I have 11,000 airmen before me before I can put on. But at the end of the day, it's a big line number, but at least I have a line number. It's some people that don't have line numbers. So that's how I looked at it. When I saw my line number, I said, what the crap? Like, that is the longest line number I've ever seen in my life. But I know people that have 12,000 as their line number, so it just all depends. It's nothing to be worried about. Basically meaning I will be putting on in maybe July of next year. Even though you make the rank, that does not mean you get to put it on right now. That just means you made it, but you have to wait until the Air Force, I guess can afford or, need you to put it on. And that's okay with me. I'll take it. This was a great little birthday gift since I just turned 25. So this is my birthday gift to myself. I won't put it on probably until next birthday, but that's fine. Whatever. This is also a great thing because, like I said, my enlistment is over next year. Well, I'm not getting out with this. Oh no, this will definitely help me stay in because I'm not going to get out while I just made staff sergeant. Like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. I kind of ripped it and whatever. So I just want to let you guys know that was my day. So if you have any questions, please let me know, okay? Don't be afraid to let me know, to write under my page. This is about you guys. Okay, bye.